If our sense of life force or energy, vitality, aliveness and will have been disrupted, which is often the case when we have been living in a long-term chronic or acute state of trauma, it's really important as part of the healing process that we consciously begin to reconnect to that sense of life force, vitality, energy, and will. And one of the ways that we can do this is by concentrating our energy, awareness, and intention around our navel and our stomach or belly area. In the womb, the navel is the passageway where we receive nourishment and food from our mother, and it remains an incredibly potent energetic portal. And so in this practice, we're simply going to sit really comfortably in any way that feels right for you. And we're going to place our hands over our navel and breathe in and out with attention and awareness on the navel, with this intention to welcome a sense of life force, vitality, and choice. So when it comes to will and life force, we want to get to a state where we're choosing it, where we're inviting it in every moment. And so the affirmation in the book that pairs with this is, I choose to be here. I welcome my life force. I'm alive. And so you can use this affirmation internally, or you can choose to speak it aloud. It's really up to you and what you're comfortable with. If you have been living in this prolonged state of being cut off or blocked, or your energy or life force or will diminished, what can happen when you engage in this practice for the first time is that you might feel this huge surge or rush of energy, and it can feel a little much or a little overwhelming. So if that does happen to you while you're practicing, the best thing to do is to immediately come out of the practice and to lie face down on the floor on your stomach and connect to the ground and let the ground stabilize you. This response is something that I learned actually from my Qigong master when we were learning all about Qigong and energy. And the idea is that sometimes when we are kind of playing with energy or inviting energy into our body, we can experience what's known as a qi deviation. So there's too much energy, it doesn't know how to settle and integrate, and this can actually make us feel overwhelmed or anxious or confused. So if you do start to feel like, oh, this practice is a little much, what you can do is you can come onto your belly and breathe and just connect to the energy of the ground, and you should see that it starts to settle. And if that does happen for you, you may like to engage in this practice in very small increments. So just breathing for a few breaths and then moving to the ground and grounding, and then coming back and having a few more breaths and really pendulating between welcoming the energy and then integrating it onto the ground in that position. So let's give it a try. I'm going to sit with you and breathe with you, and we're going to explore saying the affirmation out loud. I choose to be here. I welcome my life force. I am alive. So bring your hands to your navel, and you might like to close your eyes so that you can really turn inward and bring all your attention and your focus and your energy here, and simply breathe in and breathe out. Breathe into the navel and breathe out, and continue that pattern. And bring in the affirmation, I welcome my life force. I choose to be here. I am alive. And just notice how that feels in your body. For me, at this moment, it feels like an immediate expansion and softening as I intentionally welcome that life force and choose it. Connect to that will and that truth. But I know that earlier in my journey, it had many, many different effects. So remember that your response is your own and completely natural, and just feeling safe enough to self-care if you have a response that feels like too much is a really beautiful and trauma-informed way to approach this practice.